What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about how to call a guy out on his bullshit. Maybe not so much how to call the guy out on it, but dealing with his bullshit and what you need to actually do, okay? So before we get into this, if you can, please subscribe. Just click the red button below and the bell for the notification if you want to get my videos right when they come out. I will love you forever, okay? So here's the thing. And I'm making this video based on a lot of my clients not calling guys out on their bullshit. Let me tell you why women always lose the battle with men. Men see it from a logical perspective. Women see it from a moral. Women like to play fair, talk to one guy. A lot of women like to talk to one guy at a time. A lot of women don't want to call a guy out on his bullshit because they're afraid if I do, he's going to pull away. He's not going to like me as much. If I call him out on his bullshit, he's going to see it as a red flag. Listen. No, cut that. Here's the thing. The reason men always win is because they don't give a shit, and they treat you based on basing on what you tell or how you tell them to treat you. Right? Men do it for two reasons. Men treat you the way they do because you let them, and because they think they can get away with it. And if you don't call a guy out on shit because you're afraid of losing him or you're afraid of him pulling away, then you're actually lowering your value and you're lowering your standards because you're going to be treated as a doormat, okay? He's going to come in and he's going to expect, like a lot of my clients will hook up with a guy even though they're not supposed to. They do it anyway because, I say not supposed to because of the position they're in, the situation me and them talked about. But they know they're not supposed to do it, but they do it anyway, and the guy just goes in, he hooks up with them, and they're wondering why the guy's treating him the way that he is, why the guy's being an asshole, why the guy's pulling away, why the guy's hooking up with him and not talking to him after. I don't blame him. Hey, I would treat you the exact same way if you let me like that. I mean, I know that sounds kind of like, not domestic, demonizing. It sounds kind of dark that someone's just that evil and treats you that way. But listen, I always say this: why buy the cow if you get the milk for free? Why would he put any more effort, time, energy, all this stuff if he could just go in there? He expects to get laid, he gets laid, and then he doesn't have to commit. You're giving him boyfriend, girlfriend benefits without him having to commit. He's having his cake and eat it too. So, you can't get mad at a guy for that. From a logical, evolutionary standpoint, if I'm getting the benefits of both worlds, why in the hell would I commit? Why would I, with an evolutionary advantage, being the person who's getting it and not having to commit, not having to take any risks, only seeing the upside, why would I change my ways? Why would I want the ways to change? Okay? That's the way you got to look at it. I'm telling you, you can't get mad at a guy for wanting that stuff. That's like you saying, oh, I'm making all this money today, or I'm making all this money this year, and guess what? I don't have to pay taxes. That sounds great. Of course you would want that. If someone came up to you and said that would be awesome. You would love not to pay taxes. You would love to make the 100% take home 100% of what you earned. But that's not how it works, okay? That's just not how it works. You always want to take the advantage. That's just human nature. We want that advantage over something. It's an evolutionary advantage. But the problem a lot of women have is they lower their value, they lower their standards, they lower what they want in a relationship just to keep the guy around because they're afraid of actually losing him. And that's the problem. If that's the case, yeah, the guy might stay in, but he's going to treat you like a doormat, and I know you don't want that. Okay, women do not see that disadvantage, and I don't blame them for being that way. Again, you don't want to call out someone you like because if you do, he might pull away. And again, women are like that because they might be insecure. They don't think another guy's that great's gonna come around. They might have one-itis where they think this guy's almighty great. They're in love with him. I don't know why, but they feel like the men are scarce in their life. So if this one leaves, another one's not gonna come around for another year or two or whatever. She's getting older. She thinks she's gonna be single forever. I understand that. I totally understand that, but you got to draw the line somewhere, sweetie. You got to know your worth. The quality of your life is based on the quality of your relationships. Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. And the quality of your relationships is based on your standards and all that kind of stuff in your life, okay? You have to be up here and you have to meet a guy who wants to be up here with you. It can't be this guy's up here and I'm gonna lower my standards to keep him in because I can never get a guy up here again. So I gotta do what he wants, what he says. Cut that shit out, man. You gotta cut that shit out. You gotta call a guy out on his bullshit. And the way to do that is just to actually do it. Listen, you if you don't do it, I know that's not the answer you want to hear, but I mean, there's no special way of calling a guy out on his bullshit. I mean, you gotta be realistic with it, okay? If a guy's using his power, advantage over you, like power in terms of you like him a lot more than he likes you, and he's kind of pulling away and pulling all this bullshit to mess with your mind or to punish you, then that's what you guys. Again, texting's not. Don't use texting as an example. Just because you text him and he doesn't text you back, that's not a power advantage. Okay, that's just a guy who's not texting. Okay, I'm talking about people who pull away or say certain phrases to piss you off. Or things because they know they'll get a rattle out of you. All that kind of bullshit. Basically, it's like you do what I say or I'm going to punish you by pulling away or I'm going to do this, that, whatever. When the guy starts pulling that, you got to say, nah, you got to come back with it. You got to tell him, nah, dude, that's just not, I'm not about that. That's not what I don't do that. But whatever. Tell him what he needs to hear. Give him an earful and then see how he reacts. If he pulls away, then okay, he pulls away. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. Either way, you need to demand some self-respect and have a backbone and tell him what the F is up, okay? Because if you don't, then he's going to control that relationship. He's going to treat you the way he wants. And even though he's around still, great. Well, actually not so great because he's going to treat you like a doormat, He's going to treat you like a piece of shit. And women wonder why guys come in and they do all, they say this, say that. Something happens between them, and then they're like, well, why does he treat me this way? Why does he act like this? Why does he hook up with me and then pull away? And it's like because he expects it. He expects when you don't make a guy work towards anything or invest towards anything, how is he going to see any value in it? Like, you only see value in something that we work towards, that we invest in, that we put time, energy, and effort in. Okay, so if you don't let him do any of that, and you just roll over like a dog. You're just like, you just roll over like a dog, and you're submissive, and he comes in, and again, especially if the guy expects sex, if he comes in and he expects it and you give it to him, it's like, come on, there's no give and take. That's just a me relationship, and you're rolling over because you don't have anything else. Like, you feel like, oh, I gotta keep this guy, I gotta make him happy. Get that shit out of here, man. Listen, I need to make a whole thing, I don't know, a series on women having backbones, women calling guys out on their bullshit and the reasons why. And like I said, guys do it because they know they can get away with it, and two, because you let them. You can't get mad at any organism for taking advantage of something like that because it's an evolutionary advantage. He got his wants and desires. He's having his cake, he's eating it too. Why buy the cow when the milk is free? Said all that already. You can't get mad at someone for doing that. Now when he's a little dark and evil with it, like I said, like he's trying to use it as a power struggle, like I mean, you can look at a great example of what I mean by that is I forgot what it's called, the Lucifer effect, the Stanford prison experiment, where a whole bunch of people or a person is using their power over another. Yeah, that's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. I mean, it's human nature in a way, but it's wrong still. And when he starts doing that, that's where you gotta call him out on his bullshit. He's not going to change. There's no reason for him to change if he's in that state of mind, okay? Unless you call it. I'm not saying he's an evil person. That's just human nature. So you got to call him out on it. You got to draw that line. You got to create those standards and then see what goes from there, okay? That's just how it is. But with that being said, ladies, I love you. Take care. Make sure to subscribe. Just click the red button below, and peace.